Today I'm going to be talking about my experience with PMDD, also known as premenstrual dysphoric disorder. This is quite honestly the video that I wish I could have seen years ago when I didn't know what PMDD was and I was experiencing all these symptoms that now basically control my life 2 weeks of the month. But at the time I didn't know what it was. So I'm hoping that by me talking about it, if you or someone that you know has been struggling with these same things, maybe this will give you some clarity, some comfort. So I'm just going to jump right into everything that I have to share. So basically about 4 months ago, I was officially diagnosed by my doctor with PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder. I'm probably just going to use the abbreviation throughout this video just to make things a little bit easier. So first we're just going to talk about what PMDD actually is. PMDD is essentially like PMS on like a much more intense level, 1,000 times more intense than like your typical PMS. And it affects approximately about 1 in 20 people that experience menstruation. And I found this definition online from the Mayo Clinic. Premenstrual dysphoric disorder is a severe, sometimes disabling extension of premenstrual syndrome, which is PMS. Although PMS and PMDD both have physical and emotional symptoms, PMDD causes extreme mood shifts that can disrupt daily life and damage relationships. In both PMDD and PMS, symptoms usually begin 7 to 10 days before your period starts and continue for the first few days of your period. And in my experience, my PMDD likes to flare up in the week right before my period, which I believe is also known as your luteal phase, which is already a quite emotional time for most people that have cycles. But with PMDD on top of that, that first week before my period is so brutal, and it usually continues about 3 or 4 days into my actual period. As far as symptoms go, it's kind of a bit different for everyone. I've known people that have experienced depression like outside of PMDD, and then it is amplified because of their PMDD. I'm kind of on the other side of the coin where I have severe anxiety and it's amplified with my PMDD. So overall, PMDD will trigger my anxiety the most. But alongside that, I also experience feelings of depression and feeling just really kind of hopeless. And oh, this feels so weird to talk about on the internet. But I also experience really painful cramps, bouts of insomnia where I just like stay awake all night, or I have like just really disrupted sleep because of the cramps or because of anxiety. And I also just experience really bad overwhelm. For me, I feel like my PMDD started about 3 to 4 years ago. It may honestly have been before then, but I was younger and things weren't as evolved as they are now. But I'd say between like 17 and 18 was when the symptoms were really apparent. I just at the time didn't know what it actually was. So at the time, I basically just chalked it up to like I have severe anxiety. So I went and I met with my doctor and he diagnosed me with severe anxiety, which is something that I'm pretty sure like 1 in 5 people deal with, which is so crazy. But what I didn't know is that it was so intertwined and connected with my cycle. Because of the fact that I had been on the pill for so long, I wasn't aware of my cycles and how that was actually so interconnected with my anxiety. And yeah, I basically just did not understand how my body was working, and it made things so much harder. That's kind of a whole conversation for another time, but I feel like just being on the pill, for me, it was like suppressing all of the things that I needed to address. And I didn't know why I was feeling the way that I was feeling. But then I heard about PMDD. And it was at that point where I was like, okay, I need to talk to my doctor again because this really sounds like what I have. And over the course of a couple months, I met with a naturopath and my like family doctor, and both of them said that it's very likely that I have PMDD, and then eventually I got an official diagnosis. And I swear I cried so much just for the relief of like having an explanation and knowing like that I'm not crazy. Because for so long it almost felt like I was going crazy, and I At times, I even started to kind of gaslight myself into thinking that I was just being dramatic. I couldn't handle PMS like other people can, which is so awful, but I know that is something that so many people with like undiagnosed disorders experience. But it's definitely very real and I'm not making it up. But so far I've tried 2 different kinds of anxiety medication. I've also tried a holistic approach with increasing my calcium intake as well as vitamin B6, none of which worked. But I do kind of want to quickly talk about the things that actually have helped. They definitely have not stopped the problem. They have not drastically reduce the problem, but they are things that allow me to stay relatively sane. So I wanted to share these tips as well if you are struggling with PMDD symptoms. So first, talking with friends or family, that is honestly one of the biggest things. I swear, like practically every day during that week and a half window, I'm talking with my mom, I am talking with my friends, and at this point we kind of have a routine down. And I also have a friend that also has PMDD, so it's been really nice being able to kind of support each other and just check in and make sure that we are okay. But also having comfort activities, having comfort shows is so crucial for me. Having like hobbies like crochet or reading, stuff like that, that can take your mind off of what you're going through. Journaling is also huge. I've talked about journaling so much on my channel, but as far as processing your emotions and just what's going on in your mind, journaling is so important, especially if you are not in a place where you can see a therapist. So yeah, my journal in a way is kind of my form of therapy, and I feel like that is something, it's a super affordable way to help your mental health. Another huge thing is having a consistent morning and nighttime routine, because even on the days where it's super bad, if I wake up, I do my skincare, I brush my teeth, and I have like a hot drink, I feel at least a little bit better. I feel like I have some sense of normalcy, and then I get through the day no matter how I need to get through the day, and then in the evening I do my nighttime routine and go to sleep. So it literally could be like 2 things that you do, but those 2 things are going to help you feel like you at least are doing a few things for yourself, because during those times literally everything is hard. Like everything feels 10 times more difficult. Something that I'm also trying to introduce is meal prepping. So then when it comes to that time of the month when I am just really down bad, I can open the freezer or the fridge and have a meal like already prepared that has like good food in it, good nutrients, and I can just like heat it up and be done with it. Also having snacks on hand, like healthy snacks, so important. Another thing I want to talk about is just being aware of your cycle. I feel like this goes hand in hand with my whole conversation earlier about being on the pill, but that basically destroyed all opportunity for me to understand my body's natural cycles. But basically, if you're someone that has a period, then you are going to experience 4 main stages. So you have your actual period, your menstruation week, you have follicular phase, you have the luteal phase, and you have the ovulation phase. So that's the 4 main ones. I'll pop them up on screen. But I feel like learning about my body in that way has helped so much, because I know what to anticipate. I know that during my menstrual week, I'm going to feel awful with the PMDD just like raging full force. But then come the follicular window, then suddenly I have more energy again. I can do things, I feel more capable. Then you have your luteal phase, which is where most people feel really sad, even if you don't have PMDD. And then you also have your ovulation window, which I believe is like 3 to 4 days. And that's usually when you feel like you can like conquer the world. I have had that phase result in like me knocking out like 3 YouTube videos and like working out every day. But over time, I've learned to anticipate these phases and what they bring, and I've learned how to just care for myself better. And especially having PMDD, learning about these cycles, it has truly been game changing. And the last thing that I'm going to mention is just that sometimes you have to just take a break. Sometimes you quite literally will not be able to fight it and you just have to succumb to whatever happens. You have to just lay in bed. You have to just like binge watch a Netflix series, and it doesn't make you any less capable. It just means you are really going through something and you have to just let your body process what it needs to process. I feel like during that time, if it's really, really bad, I just keep reminding myself that it's going to end at some point. Like, I'm not going to feel that way forever. Literally within a week or so, I'm going to feel like myself again. So I literally just have to get through it. PMDD is definitely an uphill battle. I feel like it is a journey that I'm probably going to be on for the rest of my menstruating life. Basically, I'm saying I do not have it figured out. This is not me saying that I've like mastered PMDD or anything and I'm like totally okay now, because I'm definitely not. But I am so grateful that I know what it is now. I can pinpoint why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling. I know what's causing the symptoms that I'm experiencing. I can explain it to people. My doctors can help me with it. And yeah, I guess I just, in many ways, I got that confirmation that I wasn't just making it up. It's something that's very real and it affects a lot of people. I feel like so often issues like this are brushed off and just invalidated so fast, and we end up with the solution of just going on the pill as if that's going to solve anything. In some cases, the pill is great, but when it's not a solution for everything. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I just really hope that if any of you are struggling with the issues that I've been struggling with, I really, really hope that this video gave you some clarity, some just ideas that maybe you can discuss with your doctor, and I really hope that you can get the help that you need. And hopefully at some point there will be a more concrete solution for PMDD, but who knows. But just know that your experience is so valid and no one can take that away from you. And yeah, just know like you're not crazy. You're not crazy. That was kind of a lot, a bit more medical than what I normally share, but I feel really strongly about this, and I know that if I had seen a video like this a few years ago, it could have helped me so much. Yeah, I really hope that it helps you guys as well, even if it just is maybe you know someone that has been going through it and now you can help better support them. But anyway, that is everything for this week's video. Next week there will be a more normal video on my channel, so stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm getting so close to 3,000 subscribers, which is so cool, and it would mean the world to me if you would help me reach that goal. Here's my Instagram if you would like to see more content from me, and until next time, I will talk to you in my next video.